All right. What's going on, YouTube? Happy Sunday evening. Cavs are getting killed. They should maybe try playing a little bit of defense. I can't stand it. As somebody who grew up watching the NBA in the late 80s through the mid 90s, I can't watch it today. It's horrible. Players have no fundamentals. No defense is played. They travel every time they have the ball. The refs blow the whistle at every little thing. It's so ridiculous. Anyways, couple of things. We're moving in 3 to 4 months, and there's a good possibility that over the course of the next 3 to 4 months, I'm going to be selling parts of my collection. So that is going to start tonight. I'm going to list some things on eBay. I found a lot of 15 cars that are customs or wheel swaps that I did when I first started collecting. This is one of them. This one I took out. This is the one that I'm going to keep. The rest of them are all going to be sold in that lot. There are 2 other 83 Silverados. This one I just thought looked so good with all the trim and just the black. I don't know. This is the Retro Entertainment from Friday Night Lights. I just did a base swap on it and a wheel swap. Looks awesome. I would love to see this come out in the car culture. This casting should have been released in the Trucks series, but wasn't. So I wanted to show that. Also, my Matchbox semis, the Nintendo and the FedEx and all of those, I'm going to sell all those as one lot on eBay. So those will be up tonight. So if any of you are interested in those, check it out on eBay. The other night, a few nights ago, I did a video on Johnny Lightning Chevrolet. And I knew I was going to miss something, and sure enough, I did. This is one of the cars that I really wanted to feature on that video. It's metal on metal with rubber tires and tread. And it's just an awesome casting. It's the Chevy Caprice with the yellow cab livery. Just an awesome casting. I really dig it. Only thing I've noticed with some of these, like that 95 Impala and a couple of the others, the windows are pretty terrible. But I think Johnny Lightnings are playing toys, you know. I know they're adult collectibles, but I think they're more durable than some of these other premium brands that are out. But I don't know, the windows in this just look kind of sketch, but the casting overall I think is awesome. The wheels look good, all the detail and the trim looks really good. The the scale of the car, the proportions look really good, and I think overall the stance looks really good. The rear tires might be set in a little bit too far, but other than that, it looks really good. So I wanted to show that. I'm going to crack open a few cars here. This is just a real random video, so I apologize. There's really no rhyme or reason to this. I really didn't get a whole lot of new stuff, so it's not really a video for that. I just want to start it by cracking these cars from Vic. Slayer Nays, this Ferrari 458 Italia. Thanks again, Vic, for that box. I have really enjoyed that Datsun, man. Taking a lot of pictures of it. I've got it up in the display case. It looks sick. This thing looks sick too, though. This was a good casting. Hot Wheels actually did a pretty good job on their Ferrari castings. That's a nice 458. And then this one, I don't have. I mean, I have the casting, I just don't have this release of it. This casting has come out numerous times. The BMW 2002. And it's actually a casting that I like quite a bit. Very cool. That's a good wheel choice for this car. You can see it got 2 passes with the tampos, and both passes are on the side. So you have your side graphics with your indicators. Well, maybe it got 3 passes because there is a BMW badge right there on the hood. A little bit off center, but not too bad. One nice thing about these cars, though, for you customizers that have steady hands, there's a lot of sculpted detail here that if you have the ability, which I don't, you could really do a nice detail on it. I just don't have the hand for it. But the tampo details on the side are pretty nice with the indicators, the gas cap, and the door handles. Same thing with the back. You could really do some nice detail on that. So a couple of really cool cars from Vic. I just wanted to get those loose. How I keep 99.9% of my diecast cars. I'll take one quick look here at this Beamer, and then I'm going to move on to the next. Something I found today at Walmart. So this is not the one I found today, but this is a Matchbox tuk-tuk. These are basically taxis in Thailand. I think they might be like in Malaysia and Indonesia as well. Not positive on that, but I think so. But this actually, I think, is a licensed casting. Wow, that's kind of annoying. I apologize. It's across the room, so maybe I'll just go turn. I don't know. Anyways, so this one I picked up. Yeah, I gotta turn that off. Stand by. Alright, no more cash register. My wife has some auctions ending here tonight. I'll have auctions that start tonight. But anyways, I found this one here. This was a casting that I actually, when I saw that it was coming out, I knew it was one that I was going to have in my collection. So yeah, there are some differences between these two, though. They are not the same. That is why I picked this one up today, because I wanted both variations. So there are side tampo variations, and clearly, as you can see, one of them has detail on the back. The other one does not. The one that I found today is the one... Actually, I think the one I found today is the one that does have the detail on the back. But the side tampos are different also. And I'll show you. Just totally different. Matchbox World 001 and Thailand. So they're very, very similar. If you don't give it a good look at the store, you're probably going to miss it. But the easiest way to tell is just on the back. And I'm not a big variation collector. I have no idea which one of these is harder to find. I think the way Matchbox usually does stuff is it's 50-50, just like the Volkswagen truck and that new red Chevy van. I think those variations are pretty much equally produced. Another car that I found today, I've been wanting this one. It's been out for a while, and I don't collect Jada. In fact, I can't stand Jada as a diecast company. There is absolutely nothing about them that is appealing. I think even their Fast and Furious cars are awful. That's just my opinion, but I am not a fan of Jada. However, this particular casting and also the old Ford Broncos, every now and then I will pick those up. First of all, they're scaled they've got to be like 1 to 50 at least. So I'm not real big on. I do like the older Broncos, and I do like this one. And this is just the square body Chevy pickup. Now I've seen this one out for a while, but I have not been able to find it. The first one that came out was this one here. I found, I think, 6 or 7 of this one here, the red one, which I still think to this day is the nicest one. And then this one I only found 1, the blue one. So yeah, like I said, I absolutely do not collect Jada, but these 3 castings I have, and they will be in my collection for now. But I totally at some point can see myself selling these, just because they're not the scale that I collect, and they're just not the brand I collect. And I collect pretty much every brand except for Jada. Alright, so we cracked open the cars from Vic, cracked open the Matchbox. So I guess there's just, 3, 4, 5 cars that I want to showcase. These are all cars that have been in my collection. But I don't know if I've ever really showcased them. If I have, it wasn't going to be as exclusive as this. So this car here is made by a company called Motormax, which I believe is a Maisto brand. And I've been looking actually online, and there are some other castings from this release that I really want to pick up. This car could pass for a Racing Champs, a round 2, or maybe a green light. Maybe not quite that nice, but really close. It's metal on metal. It has rubber tires with tread, and it has a lot of detail on it. Now, it's not a riveted base. It is a screwed base, but just look at the detail on this. And this is a car that Greenlight doesn't do, Auto World doesn't do, Racing Champs does not do. Johnny Lightning might have done it at some point. Racing Champions might have. But Motormax, Maisto, this is a 1970 Ford Pinto. And it has pretty incredible detail. I mean, if you just take a look, all of the window trim is chrome. The headlights and taillights are totally detailed, completely detailed. The side panels, the badges, the manufacturer badges, the Ford there on the hood. Just really, really, really nice detail. I believe these are prototypical wheels. In this case, prototypical hubcaps. But a very, very nicely done car from Motormax. I have some basic Motormax cars too that are metal on plastic with plastic tires. I have a Lincoln Navigator and a Jeep Commander, which are 2 castings that really no one really does, and they actually do a really nice job on those too. I might show those at some point. In fact, I think I've showed the Jeep in a video way back. But look at the interior. The side view mirror actually hangs down. I think this was like a $5 or $6 price point when they came out. They've been out for quite a while. I don't remember what the release was. It was like cherries or something like that. Fresh cherries or something like that. But really, really nice detail. And it's a freaking Ford Pinto. Not only is it a Ford Pinto, it's a really detailed Ford Pinto. And to me, that's just awesome. The last American or domestic car that I wanted to show is this Johnny Lightning, which is probably outside of my... Actually, it's probably worth as much or more as all my White Lightnings, including the Gone Fishing. And it's probably worth as much as my General Lee's. It's a very, very hard car to find. It's from Classic Gold. It was an expensive car for me to buy. Actually, I think I traded for this one at Cubbyhole. I got it at my local shop, but I think I might have traded him for this one. So, anyways, this is a Johnny Lightning Hearst Olds. It came out later in the Projects in Progress, which is basically a restoration project. And that one's kind of pricey too. I think that one's around 20, 25. This one is quite a bit more than that. And of course I cracked it open when I bought it because I crack everything open. I've got some really cool stuff coming this week. Hopefully coming this week. It's shipping out to my supplier tomorrow. So I'm hoping by the end of the week. I pre-ordered this like 6 months ago. It's going to be amazing. So hopefully I get it this week. But even that, which is an expensive piece, even that one I'll be cracking open, I think. But this Hearst Olds is awesome. Actually, to me, reminds me quite a bit of a Greenlight. I think if Greenlight were to produce this car, this is pretty much about what I would expect it to look like. But Johnny Lightning did a fantastic job on this casting. And this is one of those cars, probably won't leave my collection. So I wanted to showcase this. And then the last three cars that I'm going to show are all European imports, because it feels like it's been a while since I've done that. And I'm going to start with this UCC Coffee. I don't know how this is going to show up. Hopefully it does. This Mercedes is just so cool. If I can get my camera to focus, maybe. Back it up a little bit. These UCC coffee cars are actually pretty well done. Now they don't have interiors, but the windows are all dark enough that you don't see it anyways. They put all of the cost into the detail of the casting, so for me, I'm okay with it. This was a 5-car Mercedes set. They've also done multiple Nissan sets, I think. I'm not sure. I think they put out, they've actually, I think, put out quite a bit of stuff. This set, I think, runs about 35 if you can find it. 35, and then probably another 5 or 10 to have it shipped. But it's a really cool 5-car set, especially if you're a Mercedes enthusiast. This was, I think, my favorite car of the set. It's the only one from the set that I'm going to showcase in this video. So I just wanted to bring that out. Look at that front end. Those are insert transparent lens headlights. And then on the back, just painted taillights. But look at the Mercedes badge. Just all of the details. Really, really nice. Fly. The wheels are really nicely done. Very cool. Look at those wheels. And they are rubber tires. No tread in this particular case, but definitely rubber tires. So I got two more. This is a car that I've had for quite a while. I bought this early on when I first started buying from Toy Pimp out of his cabinet at the Cubbyhole shop. And I really, it's one of the first cars I bought, and I just don't really think I've ever really shown it on the channel. And it's a car that deserves some respect, some love. Look at this. This is a Kyosho mini car collection, 1:64 scale, Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. and just check out that detail. Kyosho is amazing. Tomoka Limited Vintage is amazing. I think it's so tough because I think I almost like Kyosho's catalog a little bit better than the TLV catalog, but I don't know. It's nice that they don't overlap very much because it allows you to get a pretty good selection of diecast that is high quality, highly detailed. So a very cool Kyosho Volkswagen Carmen Ghia. I think I had a couple of color options when I bought this one, and for whatever reason I picked yellow. Just thought it looked good. It's a really nice roller too. That's one thing with Kyosho. I'd say every fifth or sixth car is not going to roll. This one's also a Kyosho that rolls fantastic. A very, very, very expensive car. And a very, very classy, very highly detailed casting. Now, typically, as a collector of 1 to 64 scale diecast, I am not a fan of convertible castings. I've said that before. I'm not a fan of opening doors in this scale. I'm not a big fan of convertibles. I don't mind opening hoods so much because I think for the most part, these companies have got it down. Auto World does a totally amazing job with their opening hoods because you open their hood and they do a great detailed engine, and you close the hood and it closes really, really nice. The seams are tight. M2, not so much. You open their hood and the dash might pop off. You just never know. It's a roll of the dice. But opening hoods, I don't mind them too much. But the opening doors, not a big fan of. Convertibles, not a big fan of. Now, the reason I'm not a big fan of convertibles is just because of the interior detail. If you look at a Hot Wheels convertible, they look pretty much terrible. But if you look at this convertible, I will see if I can... The dash, we'll wait for it to come back around, but the dash cluster, even just the seats, look at the seats. I mean, this could almost, well, here, let's take a look at this. The console, you know, the only thing it's really missing is the colors, which Mini Champs did. Lamar showed that on that Mercedes I sent. They do an amazing job with their clusters, but the detail is totally here. That is a pretty incredible amount of detail for a 1 to 64 scale interior. That is awesome. So if the convertible is going to have this kind of detail in this scale and look this authentic, if it's going to be a very, very well done replica, then I'll be okay with it. But there aren't a lot of convertibles in this scale that impress me. This is definitely one of them. You know, if you saw this, a picture of this car could probably even pass for a 1 to 24 scale. Very, very nicely done. It's an awesome color too, this pearlescent white. I think it's an actual factory color from Bentley. I think Kyosho does the factory colors, just as TLV does, just as Auto World does. Johnny Lightning's doing it now. I think Johnny Lightning was actually the first to do that, though. There's some trivia for you that I bet a lot of you didn't know. That was their that was their big thing when they relaunched in the early 90s. Their castings were horrible. They were hideous. They were ugly. In fact, I just saw Champion DJK get a vault car on his last video, and that GTO, like, no offense, buddy, it's ugly. And it's not just that car, it's pretty much every car they put out. Their wheel wells, the proportions were just way off. But what they were selling them on, mainly to adult collectors, is the fact that they were doing factory colors, and they were really, I think, marketing those towards adults who grew up back in that era and had those cars. So I actually, being a pretty decent friend with somebody who used to work for Johnny Lightning, I've actually learned quite a bit about Johnny Lightning. I learned a lot about the whole Tomy acquisition of Johnny Lightning, how they went out of business. Johnny Lightning did not go out of business. It dissolved. Tomy had no interest in the diecast part of it. They wanted the company solely for the baby baths. That's it. They were already making their own diecast cars overseas, and they weren't interested in the North American market. It's really hard to make a high quality premium detailed diecast car in that scale at that price point and turn a profit. It's not easy to do. The guy that owns Round 2 right now doesn't do it for the money. He doesn't need the money. He comes from a lot of money from, this is just speculative, what I've been told. But he does this because he's passionate about it. So, now that's not to say that he's not making money doing it, because I'm sure he probably is. But at $6 a car, and he's putting out, what, 1,300 units of each one? You know, we've all seen that big warehouse they have in their monthly videos. We've seen, you know, some of their employees in those videos. The forklift, they have a lot of overhead. So, but then again, diecast cars is just a small part of what they do. They also do model kits. They do slot cars and all kinds of other stuff. So, as a whole, I'm sure that they probably do pretty well. But Auto World, if any of you guys are watching, my biggest suggestion to you guys, because I really love what you guys do, for American diecast manufacturers, you guys are the best. I think most people would agree your quality and detail is the best. Please expand your catalog. Get some import licensing, for the love of God. Greenlight did it. M2 did it. You guys have to do it. I don't care if it's JDM or European, but do something, please. And don't get Volkswagen. We've got plenty of other Volkswagens from Greenlight, Johnny Lightning, M2. Get some Porsche or Ferrari, or go get some Japanese stuff. Get some Nissan or Honda or Toyota licensing. Those cars have lineage too. Those cars are very nostalgic. They have iconic histories too, just like the American brands do. And your name of your company is Auto World. I mean, think about that. You might as well change it to Auto America. Please expand your licensing. Us passionate collectors are craving it. We can only have the Impala in so many colors before we get sick and tired of it, to the point where we stop buying it. Sorry, that's my rant. That's my plea to Auto World, which they'll probably never see this video anyways. But anybody out there who collects Auto World that feels the same way I do, spread the word. Let's start a petition. Get them to expand their licensing. Could you imagine a Tokyo Torque series from Auto World? I would lay a paycheck on it that it would be 10 times better than this Tokyo Torque series that's coming from Greenlight. I would love to see Auto World do Honda or Nissan or Datsun or Porsche or Lamborghini or, you know, or even do trucks. Something. Every time they release 6 cars, it's 6 cars we've already seen, and they try to sell you on it by, oh, but this one only is made to 1,200 pieces. And it's a factory color. Who cares that you have 6 other castings of this same car with 6 different colors? Now this is a new color that you don't have. So irritating. That's a nice looking Bentley though, huh? Let's see what the Kyosho Bentley looks like next to the Johnny Lightning Hearst Oldsmobile. You know what? I bet you for scale, those are both spot on. I bet you those are spot on. They actually look pretty close, in my opinion. Alright, that's going to wrap up my video, guys. Thank you. Hey, collecting for Ben. I've got a pile of cars together. I might add a few more things to it, but that box will be heading your way by the end of the week. And just another shout out to Vic. I really appreciate the box. I really like this highway hauler, but I totally love that post-race Datsun. Don't know if you've noticed, but this is the new icon for the channel. What are they called? The new avatar for the channel. I don't know if you guys can read what that says, but if you're unable to read what it says, you should pause it, cover one eye, and look at it real close and then slowly back away from it. Remember those magic eye puzzles back in the day? Alright, I'm going to go watch the rest of the game and watch Cleveland get bent over and spanked like naughty children. You all have a good night. Have a good week. I'll be back probably in a day or two with some more cool diecast stuff, so I will holler at you all then. Take care.